To our practice, make sure everyone is up and chose to practice with us today. Our practice today is going to be a pretty traditional vinyasa flow with the focus on setting intentions. I think it's always nice to come back to that. We talk a lot about setting intentions at the beginning of our practice, but we don't, we just make an assumption that setting an intention is an easy thing for you and it just lands on you and there you go and off you go. But it's nice to come back to what it really means to set intentions and to allow it to be just an incredibly mindful practice. Um, so let's address that on the mat. Hi, Susie. All right. Seated position. I invite you to maybe explore a seat that's different from all the other seats that you always take. So if you have blocks, maybe consider taking a hero's pose, Virasana, where maybe you sit on top of something and bring the heels to one side or the other. Just an option. Maybe you choose to sit Sukhasana, flat on your booty with the legs crossed in some way. Maybe if one block in Virasana is not giving you the support you need and you feel like it's a little too labored, to unsteadiness, make sure that you feel safe. You can also put a bolster or a pillow. We're not trying to go into the deepest sensation of the body here. We're just trying to find a seated position in which we can feel supported, and it's a position that feels sustainable. So once you arrive, if you're comfortable, close the eyes, invite the hands to rest just naturally on your legs, wherever they land. This is the grand practice where you feel on the mat, face, taking note of any sensations that are swirling around you so that they don't distract you during the practice. You know they're there, which is part of the ambiance. Notice any strong sensations in the body that are trying to get your attention. To around the body that are injured. Movement instead of anything aggressive. Once you've noted that sense of groundedness through the spaces of the body that are connected to the earth, notice where you're lifted, where you rise. Inviting a gentle lift. If you notice any slouching, any hunching, invite natural curves. Softening the shoulders, adjusting the chin so it's parallel to the earth. Feel your presence here. You chose to practice this morning. No one made you do it. Move calm and attention. Intention to practice yoga this morning. Intention to let everything else wait until you're ready for it. But maybe there's something else that you'd like to invite into your awareness for the practice. Remember that an intention is a thought or a mantra or a word or a visual that helps sort of point your compass to your true north. It's a way to set a framework for your way of being. And that way of being will influence your way of doing throughout the day. Your intention is to feel authentic, very personalized, very feeling in this moment. And different from a goal, an intention is a way of being. It's not something you hope to accomplish, it's how you are. Allowing this present moment experience to create your context, to inspire. Maybe feel intention with you. That's certainly the case for me. Mine's always, I am grateful, because no matter what my physical limitations are in any given day for my practice, no matter what sort of suffering I'm enduring or what kind of heavy emotions I'm swimming through, gratitude is always shining. I'm always looking for the blessings in any fortunate and unfortunate situation. It's my beacon. But it's going to be different for each of us. Something specific to today. And it's okay to have an goal, of course. Maybe your goal is, I'd like to, do a crow pose today and honor my strength. That's more of a goal, more of something you'd like to accomplish. An intention's not an accomplishment. It's a way of being. Once you've settled on your intention, let it permeate your being, bringing it in from your words, and your thoughts become your actions. Your actions represent your beliefs, and eventually that just becomes who you are in your purest form. But it's okay if nothing's arrived. Don't force it. Perhaps it'll land. Just create some space for it today. Let's take a big breath in together. And let a breath go. Inhale. We'll exhale. More. Just letting the energy of intention wash over you. Beautiful. We're going to roll into a table position from here. Move the knee blocks to the side. Support the comfort of your knees by bringing a towel or blanket underneath them if you need to. And let's start to offer some articulation into the spine. So as you inhale, find your cow pose, sinking the belly down, curving out that lumbar spine. And as you exhale, press the weight. Inhale, drop, opening the heart, lifting the gaze. As you round, you'll start to feel the lower belly engage as it pulls upward toward the spine. Two more, slow exploration of the spine here. Beautiful. Come right back into your table position. On the inhale, extend your right leg back behind you, and then step the right foot between the thumbs. We're going to rise up into a low lunge. Here. That feels to open up through the. When you're ready, arms are going to reach up. Place the hands behind the back. Support the head wide open through the heart. And as you exhale, we're going to round into that cat shape again, drawing the elbows toward the knee. Inhale, lift and expand through the heart space. And exhale, round. 2 more. Breathe in. Breathe out. Go no faster than the breath. We're in no rush. Beautiful. Arrive back to your neutral spine, elbows out nice and wide. Take a big breath in, lifting the crown. And as you exhale, bring the right elbow down toward the right side, opening up the left side body. Inhale back up to center. We're going to stay on that right side. Exhale, dip the right shoulder down, the right elbow down, rather. 2 more. Just noticing where it starts to feel a little unstable in the rest of the body. So squeeze where you need to squeeze. Nice. Beautiful. Come right back into center. We're going to walk the hands around to the left side and swing the left heel behind us and extend the right leg out to the side. So coming into a little outrigger stretch. Keep the left palm rooted, and we're going to raise the right arm up for a twist. And then bring the right hand down to the earth and lift the left arm up. What? Left hand down, right arm up, and just notice what's moving here. And see if you can isolate the movement into the spinal column, keeping the glutes contracted to support the hips so that you really feel the twisting where we want it here. One more. Open to the left. And bring your hands down. Sink the hips back. Come into a little half child's pose, half outrigger. So you're going to feel a big opening into that right side thigh. If you want, you can roll the roll the pinky edge to the right side. Come into your heel. Bow the head down. Maybe the forehead reaches the earth, or you stack palms or fists to create a connection. You can also use a block. Take another breath. Nice. We're going to walk back to our palms. Walk those hands back around to frame the right foot. Send the right leg behind us, bend the knee, and make circles into the right side hip. Send that right leg straight back and just wag the tail a little bit. Send it to the left. Send it out to the right. Just let the leg sort of vacillate side to side, taking your gaze with it, so you're offering lateral flexion into the spine. And then draw that knee back in. We're going to take 2 more cat-cows. You can make them funky if you want, adding some circles into the hips. Nice. Come right back into your table. Extend your left leg back. And as you do that, really engaging into the muscles of the leg and flex into the foot. So that's when we do our 3-legged dogs. You want that same sensation in the foot, in the leg. Step the foot between the thumbs. We're going to sweep up. We're going to go right away into that lateral flexion. So hands behind, support the head. Take a big breath in. Exhale, crescent over to the left. Inhale, center. Crescent over to the left. Feel a nice stretch through the right side body. Take 1 more. You guys are awesome. Beautiful. Come right back. Bring your hands down, start to walk them over to the right side of the mat. Swing your right heel behind you, extend your left leg. Coming into that outrigger stretch, we're going to keep the right palm rooted, left arm to the sky. Exhale, left hand down. Inhale, right arm up. Big thoracic twist here. And again, we're looking to isolate into the spinal rotation, so keep the hips stable to the extent possible. One more on each side. There we go. And then both hands to the earth, hip back toward that right heel. Settle the chest down toward the earth. Rotate the left hip a little bit if you want, or keep the edge of the foot rooted. Your choice. Where do you want to feel it? What feels good? Using your intention to tether you back when you notice the mind is drifting, which it does. One more breath. And then come back up, walk around. We're going to frame that left foot, send the left leg back. Big circles into the left hip, flexing at the hip and the knee. And then begin to extend at the hip and the knee and wag the tail behind you to the right, to the left. If you're limited in your mobility here, not because of your body, but because of furniture or dogs or whatever, just be careful. Go where you can go. All right, we're going to come back into table position. 2 more cow and cats. Really making sure that spine is warmed up for you today. Nice. And then start to extend your legs back, one then the other, into your high plank. And from high plank, hips high, downward facing dog. Big breath. And let the breath go. Walk your hands back to your feet. Forward fold at the back of the mat. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, lower down. If you notice getting dizzy as you come up, just take it really slowly. Make sure you're breathing deeply. Halfway lift, flat back. Hands to the earth. Take a slow walk back out to your high plank. From high plank, we're going to come back to downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, feet walk to the hands this time, slowly activating the musculature all up and down the legs. Slow rise. Take your time. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift, hands to the shins, flat back. Hands to the earth, step back to high plank. From high plank back to downward facing dog. We're going to do one more little bear crawl to each end. So hands to feet, slow journey. Bending the knees to accommodate the body. You want, rise up. Exhale back down. Halfway lift, flat back. Hands to the earth, slow walk to high plank. From high plank to downward facing dog. Then walk the feet to the hands. Getting all warmed up. Rise all the way up. Stand tall, lift the gaze. Back to fold. Halfway. Hands to the earth. Step back one, then the other. High plank. Nice. From high plank, we're going to lower to chaturanga. So bend the elbows, invite the body down in a nice strong plank down to the earth. Inhale to your baby cobra. Feeling the ribs peel away from the earth. Feel them draw forward, melt the shoulders. Take a big breath and exhale, lower back down. Inhale, halfway, maybe coming up a little bit more. If you want to start to straighten the arms, if that feels okay. And lower down. One more back bend. So what feels good to you? Notice where you're feeling it, how it feels, being really in touch with sensations in the body. And we're going to make our way to downward facing dog. Take a breath in and let the breath go. Breathe in and breathe out. And you'll notice as you practice and you keep coming back to the thought and the feeling of your intention, it helps to guide you. It helps to make sure that everything you're thinking and everything that you choose to do with your body truly aligns with that intention. And when it doesn't, you know right away because something feels off. So stay true to yourself. Big breath in, full breath out. And look to the front of the mat. You can step or hop feet to hands. Rise up. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift, flat back. Hands to the earth. Step the left foot back, low lunge. We're going to take a little flow here. Inhale, peel the right arm up for a twist. And we're going to exhale, Skandasana over to the left. Now you don't have to, again, you don't have to go to your deepest sensation here. We're going to go back and forth. So feel a little buoyant, maybe stay a little higher in the hips. And then come right back to frame the right foot. Peel the right arm up for that twist again. And back over to Skandasana. Do that 2 more times. It's just making sure the joints are feeling really well lubricated and getting a lot of breath into the body. You got it. Staying safe. One more big breath. And over to the left. Yep. Beautiful. Lots of movement. Come back to the front. Frame the right foot. Step back. High plank. Lower down. Scoop it up. Maybe you're on your thighs or maybe you're on your tops of your feet for upward facing dog. Back to downward facing dog. Breathe in and breathe out. Look to the front of the mat. Step or hop, feet to hands. Up you go. Growing a little taller. Exhale, let it go. Halfway lift. Hands to the earth, right foot steps back, find your low lunge. Great time to use blocks too if that makes you feel a little bit more comfortable tethering to the earth. And we'll take that twist Skandasana flow. So lift the left arm, feel the spinal twist. And as you exhale, gently shift over to the right. Inhale, come into your twist. Exhale to the right. Slow down that breath so that everything you do is within your awareness. You're not rushing. I'm giving that cue because Yoga Sherpa's practicing with me and he likes to get it done. He thinks if he goes faster, the practice will be over faster. Slow down, Sherpa. All right, we come back to frame the left foot. Step back to high plank. Lower chaturanga. Inhale, scoop that beautiful heart up and open. Back to downward facing dog. Practicing down in our basement studio. Our 21-year-old nephew is with us for a few days. And apparently he likes it hot, so we're practicing hot yoga down here because the heat's been blasting. Woo! Take a big breath in. And let it go. Look to the front of the mat. Step or hop, feet to hands. Rise up. And bow down. Halfway. Hands to the earth. Left foot steps back. Rise now. We're in a high crescent lunge. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale. Center. Exhale, twist to the left. Again, just isolating this movement right in the spinal column. Back to center. Twist to the right. Back to center. Twist to the left. Beautiful. We're going to come back to center. Twist to the right one more time and then flip and reverse. So gently bring that right hand. You can either come behind you with the back of the hand against the small of the back. You can wrap it around. You can bring it to your leg. It's just resting gently on your back. Yeah, you're going to feel a really strong sensation through that left side psoas, through the ribs. One more big breath. And then bring those hands to frame the right foot. Step back, high plank. Lower down, chaturanga. Taking any version of a flow that feels right to you. And when you're present for yourself and you notice the sensations, you know right away if it feels right and good and challenging in a way that you're inviting. But if it starts to feel like too much or too painful, then you know to make changes. Breathe in and breathe out. Arrive to the front of the mat, however you'd like to get there. Rise up and let it go. Halfway lift, hands to the shins. And then step the right foot back, rooting down, rising up, high crescent lunge. Exhale, twist to the left. Just through the spine, not the hips. Back to center. Feel the control that comes from your awareness. Breath in. Keep the belly nice and firm, drawing in toward the spine. Gorgeous. Come right back to center. Twist open to the left. Flip that right palm up and reverse it. Deep, deep stretch to that right side hip flexor. Yeah, just notice what you're feeling. How does it feel? Take one more breath. And then bring the hands down to frame. Step back, high plank. Lower chaturanga. Inhale with intention, lifting and spreading through the heart space. Back to downward facing dog. Breath. And release. Inhale, right heel to the sky, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose, rounding through the spine. Inhale, three-legged dog, straight back up. And same thing, knee to nose, a little cheetah. Shoulders drift over the wrists. One more, big breath in. Knee to nose right here. And then step the right foot behind the right wrist and melt the left heel down. We're coming into a warrior one foot. Come on up when you're ready. Feel the rooting, feel the rising, feel the strength. Yes, I love it. So many people have their cameras on today. I get to see you. All right, as you inhale, we're gonna lift those arms up. And as you exhale, bow down, bring the arms to float behind you. Gaze down. Inhale up, just look, bring some range of motion into those shoulders. Exhale, bow. Two more, and the last one will settle into a humble warrior. Last one, we're just shaking up the weekend. Right here, settle into that fold. Maybe the hands come to find one another, interlacing behind the back. And if it feels good for you to extend the arms up and away from the back, you'll invite more of a shoulder stretch. Bow down. Take a big breath. Let something go. Come back to your intention. It's almost like refilling the car with gas. When you come back to that intention, it just keeps you right on track. It keeps you moving, keeps you motivated and inspired. And then we're going to slowly rise up. Lift those arms up to the sky. And as you exhale, rotate the left heel in. We're going to skandasana back over to the left. Now this time, since we're going to hang out here for a few moments, you may want to go a little deeper if it's safe in your body to do so. That left hand can go in front of the left shin, and the right arm can reach up. And maybe the right arm goes around the back and even looks for a bind, maybe binding on the hip crease. If you want to take the full bind, that left hand point, the thumb points down, elbow bends, and you reach around and see what you can find. Maybe you're making the bind there, but that's not necessarily our goal here. We're trying to just look at opening up through the hips and invite a spinal twist. So if you're feeling it, you're doing it. You don't have to go any deeper. Take another breath. Start to unwind your twist. Real you are, maybe rock forward or stay static. Another is to drop the knee, untuck the toe. Maybe you take the right hand and press that right knee open. Some people love to take a twist, bind and a twist. So you bend into the left knee and take a bind on that ankle. I'm gonna come peek at you. Just do what feels right to you, what feels good. We got all the Lisas and all the Kathleen's today. I love it. Paula. Yeah. Whatever you're doing, it feels right for you. That's staying true to your intention. Being authentic. Respecting your body. Take another breath. All right, from here, palms down to the earth. Release any bind, step back to your high plank. Either take a flow or arrive right back into your downward facing dog. Breathe. And let it go. Nice. On the inhale, left heel to the sky. Nice and strong lift through the leg. And exhale, bend the knee, bend the hip, draw the knee in, cheetah pose, rounding through the spine. Inhale, leg extends, three-legged dog. Exhale, draw the knee in toward the nose. One more. Breath in. We're not rushing. Breath out. And then step the left foot behind the left wrist. The right heel melts down. Here we go, rising up, warrior one. Take your time to get situated, adjusting your stance, adjusting the hips, adjusting that beautiful smile. There you go. Take a breath in. And hinge at the hips, float chest to thigh, arms reach behind you. Lift up, honoring the mobility, the range of motion into the shoulders. Exhale, bow down. Find the range of motion in your neck too, changing your gaze like an arc. Unless that gets you dizzy, and keep your gaze fixed. One more breath. Come all the way down into that fold. Bring the hands to find one another behind the back if you'd like. And for a little bit more oomph into those shoulders, straighten and extend the arms away from the body. Notice that left side lunge. Did you come out of it a little bit? I did. You can go back into it. Breathing here. Releasing expectation and these standards we set for ourselves sometimes and just letting ourselves be. Take another breath. All right, start to rise, release the bind. We're going to shift over to that right foot, skandasana. Finding a deeper expression of Skandasana here. Maybe challenging your balance by lifting the hands, thumbs to the sternum, or taking a twist with or without a bind. You know, what feels right for you? I'm not here to please anybody else. We're not here to please our egos. We're not here to be Instagram sensations. We're just here to practice in a way that feels right for us today. So if you're trying to make a bind and the bind's not happening, just resist any shame or, what ifs or I wish I coulds. Just celebrate where you land. One more breath. Beautiful. Hands to the earth. Slow journey over to frame the left foot. Hands inside the left foot for your lizard. And once you arrive here, don't automatically do what you did on the other side. Take a moment, breathe into it. Notice sensations, take a little inventory. And then do what feels right. Maybe you do all the things. You don't have to be still for the full 10 breaths. Maybe you're enjoying the movement this morning and you want to just keep moving, keep flowing. Or maybe you've been moving and flowing all morning and you're like, stillness. It's exactly what I need. There's always a twist option and a bind. You can always come down onto a forearm too if your wrist starts to scream at you. We're not worried about aesthetics here. We're going for sensation. Two more big breaths. Nice. Let go of any binds. Palms back to the earth. Step back into your high plank. And we're going to lower all the way down to the earth here. Come all the way down. Bring your arms into a goal post. And just invite your right cheek to the mat for a moment. Feel a beating heart. How cool is it that we can feel that? Turn to your left cheek for just a moment. Giving your other side of your neck a stretch. And then come right back into center with your head. Maybe bringing your forehead down to the earth with the arms in goal post. As you inhale, we're going to lift the body up. So just lift the arms, lift the legs. Notice how it feels. Squeezing into the back body, really strengthening those core muscles. Lift again. And then exhale, come all the way down. Once you notice what you're relaxing, you'll notice what was engaged to help you lift. And let's do it again. Inhale, start to lift up. Soften the shoulders from the ears. Draw the shoulder blades together in the back body. Take one more big breath, lifting and engaging. And lower down. Coming out of the shape is a nice little surrender. For another one, we're going to come back into, and this time just take some little itty bitty movements side to side, just little, really safe and in control, like you're skydiving. I've never done that before, and I probably never will, but I feel like this is what people look like, and they're kind of looking around at what's beneath you. Ooh, treetops, mountains. I'm gonna die. That's why I don't do it. I know it's safe. I've ziplined. That was enough for me. Just feeling a little lateral movement here. Just do a few more, and when you're ready to rest, come on down. And we'll all meet down with our cheek to the mat once again. Try not to open your eyes, because when you're at eye level with the floor, you start to think about all the swiffering you need to do. So just savor the remnants of that back bend. And from here, we're going to come into a cat pose once again. So come to hands and knees, rounding the spine. Whoop. Tuck the chin to the chest. Maybe it feels good even to rock the hips back a little bit. If you wanted to do some of that spinal flossing, remember it's a little counterintuitive. As you send the hips back, you actually lift the head up. And as you draw forward, you tuck the chin to the chest. Just get some of that sciatic glide. I think I shared with you how I did a virtual cadaver lab for my yin class, and we got to see the sciatic nerve, and it's chunky. It's a big one, y'all. Come into a child's pose from here. Any child's pose that feels good to your body. Maybe the knees are narrow, maybe they're wide. Maybe the arms are outstretched and lifted, engaging the shoulders. Maybe the arms are wide. Maybe they're behind you. Just bring a moment to settle back on your intention for your practice. Maybe your intention transcends your practice and it's just your intention for the day or for your life. And you connect with something that's so intimately tied with your core being. It just feels so right. Take a big breath. And let a breath go. All right, from here, we're going to come back into our table position, back into a downward facing dog. Take a breath in. Let a breath go. Nice. From here, we're going to inhale forward, drop just the left knee, and we're going to open up into a side plank, opening to the right. Now you have the option here, of course, to lift the left knee if you want a little bit or a lot bit more activity in the core, or you can keep the left knee down. If the left knee's down, think about lifting the right leg, maybe bending the leg and taking a hold of the ankle, pressing the foot into the hand, opening up the back again, and feel the shoulders draw together as well. Spinal extension will help prepare you if you're doing a lot of sitting and zooming today. It's a lot of spinal flexion, so one more big breath. All right, from here, release the bind, lower that left knee if it was lifted. Bring the right hand down. We're going to bring the right knee up behind the right wrist and settle into a pigeon pose. If you know that pinwheel pigeon is better for you or a figure 4 variation, feel free to take it. Otherwise, do what you need to do to adjust the hips, sliding a little blanket or a little foam pad or something underneath that. Ourselves into this shape, slowly through the hips. If you begin to walk the hands forward, melting the heart down. Again, inviting your forehead to a little pillow that you create with your palms. And once you arrive, relax any tension in your shoulders and your jaw. Our point of focus here is the hips, extending into the left hip, externally rotating and flexing into the right hip. So just connect with those sensations. Noting the nourishing properties of each breath as it arrives and departs. In the spirit of all the twists we've done today, if you want to add one here, take your left arm and weave it underneath the right arm. So you come down to your left shoulder and the right hand will come around the back, maybe looking for a bind on those right big toes. Optional, of course. It will strengthen the sensation in the back of that right hip. Right now, so develop your breath and body. And we'll start to come out of this very gently, unpeeling yourself from any twists and binds that you have. Pressing up onto your palms. Coming back into a three-legged table where that right leg goes back behind you and just circle out through the ankle, or through the hip rather. Maybe shake or kick. And if you can, just as a little challenge, keeping that right leg lifted, press yourself up to a three-legged dog. See how that feels. Bend into that right knee, open the hip, and since we've worked out the back body, good to go. Breathe in. We'll start to flip back around. Three-legged dog once again, maybe floating into a vinyasa with that leg lifted until you come to your back bend. And then lower it to support your back. Back to downward facing dog. Nice. Noting the breath. We're going to shift forward into a high plank. Release the right knee down. Okay, we're going to, options here, of course. We're coming into that supported side plank. Hair everywhere. You can challenge yourself by lifting. Choice 2 is lift, bend the knee, take a bind on the ankle, kick the hand. Opening up the heart, pressing the chest forward. You can even change your gaze here. Get real dramatic in the neck. One more breath. And then let it go. If you have that knee, the right knee lifted, drop it. We're going to bring the left knee up behind the left wrist, setting up for our pigeon pose on this side. Now you might see on this side, I have a little cavity, a little space between the hip and the floor. So get to bridge that gap. I feel pretty good. So I can invite sensation. It's safe. Maybe you sit up for a moment. Taking inventory of how this feels right away. And if you want to rest and surrender in your pigeon, start to walk the chest down toward the earth, melting your forehead onto your hands or a block. Relax your jaw. Try to soften tension anywhere you notice it. This is one of those shapes in which the arriving and the time. It's where an experience tomorrow that I'm teaching yummy yin. It's delicious for the body. Get in your jammies, turn the lights down low, put on your favorite candle, and settle in for a nice slow practice that speaks to the connective tissues of the body. So it adds stress to parts of the body that don't normally get it because the muscles are usually taking charge of your physical practice. We're quieting the muscles. We're moving past the muscles into the joints, the tendons, the ligaments, the tissues that are a little bit less pliable, a little bit drier, a little less elastic. Even putting a little stress in little mini mindfulness moments. We hold shapes and wait. If you wanted to add that twist here, weave the right arm under the left. Bring the left arm around, looking for perhaps a bind on the right big toe or left big toes. Take another breath. Just back here. Your three-legged table with that right leg behind you, moving, bending, shaking. And then see if you want to just lift the right leg, coming into a three-legged dog with the option to bend that top knee, flip your dog if you like. I have a radiator over here. I'm going to pull back. If you flip back to three-legged dog. Final vinyasa flow, which you don't even have to. And then come back into Rasa shape. Maybe again, feather underneath the hips. Stilling the body so the mind can settle for just a moment and come right back to your compass, your intention. It will always point to your true north. And if circumstances change and your mood shifts throughout the day and you need to arrive at a different intention, then go for it. Taking time to set your intention before we get out of bed each morning, it's a really nice way to help set the pace for your day. And checking back in with your intention helps to make sure that everything that you're doing and saying is in alignment with who you truly are. And if it doesn't feel right, let it go. Maybe you'll notice a lot of free time created in your day when you start to let things go, things that you were just doing rotely, mindlessly, that don't align with your intention. It gives a taking a And for our final shape, if you'd like, if you're working on your seated meditation stamina, you're welcome to stay like this. If you'd like to come back into a traditional Shavasana shape, and please do so. Riding on your back. Taking any movement or stretches that the body craves before you settle. Remember that the ancients thousands of years ago taught us that yoga, just one of the limbs of yoga, is really for us to breathe more efficiently. Breath is paving the path for deeper, sustained periods of concentration and meditation. So now that the body is prepared, we can actually let the breath go. You don't need to have breath control during your final shape, whether you're seated or laying down. Just start to melt into this final shape of stillness. When we become quiet, we surrender and just allow yourself to be. The colors you're choosing are settling into the mosaic of you. You stare into it, seeing memory, choices, experience, and it stares into you, seeing itself. Color, shadows, splashes, light, space, potential. Victoria Erickson. Your intention is like a colorful mosaic, bringing together the pieces of your experience, your dreams, your influences, your inspiration, your love, your burning passion. It all comes together into this beautiful piece of art that you can stare at all day long, continuing to be inspired. Start to feel the breath Feel its presence in your body. And then as you release its presence out into the world, and start to move the body in ways that feel natural to awaken from the stillness. Take a big stretch. And then retract into a nice hug. Loving on your body, accepting your body, remembering you are who and how you are meant to be right here, right now. Perfectly imperfect. Roll over to one side for just a moment. And then rise back up into the world. Filled with intention, filled with passion, purpose, filled with light. Draw your hands together at the heart. The love and the light in me honors and appreciates the love and the light that shines brightly in each of you. Namaste. Thank you guys so much for practicing with us today, Monday. Please remember that Yummy Yen tomorrow night is available to you. It will be the first of many yen classes that I share with you. You can sign up on eatyogadrink.com. And I also have a lot of great new merch on my website if you want to check it out. I meant to have some samples to show you here, but they're in my car from my class this weekend. So eatyogadrink.com, you can find everything. So thank you guys so very much. I'm also about to launch a new mindfulness series. It's just a 3-part series that you can actually do the workshops. They're not workshops, they're practice sessions. Like, what's the word I'm looking for? In isolation. You could choose 1, 2, or 3, whichever speaks to you, the theme that speaks to you, or you can buy them as a bundle and do all 3. So I'm going to launch that either today or tomorrow. It starts in 2 weeks. So it's a little mindful approach to the holidays to get you all set and ready for the holidays. So thank you.